everybody, and welcome back. Yay! Can everyone hear me okay? I know you guys can see my screen because I can see that you can see my screen. Cindy King, yes, I remember I think Don called it a grapple raspberry. It was a digitizing challenge. I think one of our first ones. We had a lot of fun with that. If you guys haven't done that, you should go back. It's a grapple raspberry and it looks like Dawn. And we thought that was very funny. So awesome. It must be time. My alarm's going off, says Cindy King. Yep. Hi, Karina. I said hi to Sandy, and I always say Misha. So hi. Jackie Cheeks here. Graperaz. Oh, I'm sorry, Don. Graperaz. That was a lot of fun. We actually had a lot of fun with that. I love it. So, welcome back, everybody. I see a lot of familiar names in here. This is tons of fun. I'd like to point out, too, that I changed my glasses to red just to keep it, you know, what I look like. I am wearing red glasses, so I just thought it would be fun. So look, Phyllis Thompson, yay, I made it finally. Well, I'm glad you're here. A lot of familiar names. I love seeing the new people as well. Isabel, hi Isabel. Regulars and a lot of new ones. Krista MacArthur, hi Sue, hi back Krista. So, did you guys have fun trying to figure out what the shapes make? These are all the shapes here. I had a lot of fun making this. It's simple. Oh, Jackie San Pedro. Hello, hello. It's simple, but you can make it really cute. I noticed in the OML Embroidery University Facebook group that some people guessed correctly. So I thought it'd be fun. Oh, Elizabeth, new here. Love your cool stuff, Sue. Hey, thanks. That's awesome. We are having fun. Oh, before we get started, too, I wanted to ask you guys if you want to continue with the aquarium, because we got a few suggestions, I think, in the last one, and I do write them down. Octopus, coral, catfish, I think that's for Misha, and a lighthouse, also for Misha. So you guys can let me know that that'll be like 4, and then we can start on the garden, or do you want to start on the garden faster than that? So it's all going to be all about shapes and different things. So Judy Quilt, I still haven't gotten a brilliant stitch artist for my MacBook. Love that combination. However, your YouTube videos are just so often I had to pop in. Well, thanks for popping in, Judy Quilt. We're hearing more and more. You're here, I think, for everyone they do. So yes on the aquarium. Okay. Continue the aquarium. Garden for me. Yes on aquarium. Sandy. Oh, thank you very much. We appreciate that so much. I want to get some. I want to get some new things. New fabric. I guess I'll have to wait for that, but it would be awesome. I still haven't got all my sea life made. Yeah, there's lots to do. And I think David earlier in the conversation said, put them all together and make a wall hanging. And I think that's probably an amazing idea. I think that would be really, really fun to do. So, okay, maybe I'll put in the OML Embroidery University Facebook group, maybe I'll put up one of the polls, because this is all, I do all this for you guys, so we might as well be doing what you guys want. I mean, we have lots of time, so we can work this out. And maybe if we're going to make an aquarium quilt with your own designs, that we could work on how to add the quilting in the background and something like that. David Weaver says, yes, gonna make a giant aquarium. Be really cool if you had the right fabric for that. I can picture it once you say it. So, okay, let's get back to Carl. Carl has fallen to pieces. So, shall we put Carl back together? I'm going to make myself a little more room. I think we should put Carl back together. So I'm going to move these things around. Don't worry, we're going to work on them all. So I'm just going to kind of give you guys the idea of what I started with. So seriously, what I started with was just a bunch of shapes. And it's all shapes, and we're just going to change a few things and merge a few things, and you'll be surprised. So whoever guessed crab, you're correct. Whoops. You're correct. It's a crab. Carl the crab. So I'm just going to place those there just in one group. So basically a crab. I think it's supposed to go the other way. One, control, click, and click. So he's a cute crab. And he's actually a lot of fun. You can make it cartoonish. You can add all the detail that you want. Yeah, poor Carl, Sandy Accury says. Well, he's almost back together. This is what I came up with. How darn cute is that? So the interesting parts about Carl is I tried some different things. One thing I like about Perfect Embroidery Pro is that it shows the variegated thread. Now, of course, it's not going to be exactly what you have on your machine. It'll look a little bit different, but I think it gives you a really, really good feel for it. So I tried a whole bunch of things. This, of course, the legs are satin stitches and fill stitches, and then I thought the outline would be really cool. Eyebrows, I added just, he's cartoonish, so, you know. Carl is as red as I am. Misha, you know you shouldn't get a sunburn. Don and I are like white as white can be, so the sun is like deadly to us. We just burn in the shade. It's terrible, so anyways. And this here is a motif stitch over the fill stitches. And I think that's a really cool effect to do. So I was just playing around. I don't know if I like the zigzags on his claw, but, you know, it's cool. A big goofy smile. And I sat for probably far too long moving his eyeballs around. Because I thought it was funny. Look, do it like this. You can have him, if we're doing a quilt, you could have him, look, oh, he looks cute like that, looking at the next block. Let's make crab sticks, Karina. That's cute. That's cute. Happy Nurses Day in the States. Yay! Happy Nurse Day to Samantha. Well, I'm sure she'll love to hear that. She's just coming off of a night shift, so she's pretty tuckered out. So, meet Carl. Carl is a crabbish. Crabbish? That sounds like Dawn, doesn't it? A crabbish? Anyways, let's take a look. So, if you are using other software, these are the tools that we're going to be using. And it's all the same tools. I'm trying to keep this simple to get, you know, beginners and advanced people that you can do it in any software. I'm trying to keep it similar, but, you know, adding in different things as well. I was thinking a submarine also, Lori Shell says. Yeah, that's a great idea. Oh, Shell. Ha! We were talking about that as well. All right, well, we still have a lot of work to do in our aquarium, you know. I know. So we're using basic shapes, which is found in almost all digitizing software. Merging the shapes, we're going into node mode, as I call it, right? We're going to edit nodes to manipulate the shapes just a little bit. We're using the fill stitch, which is common, running stitch, motif stitch, oh, and editing nodes again, just because maybe you forgot it as the third one, right? And we're doing, you know, motif stitches and moving stuff around, but it's basically the same. So the point of these is everybody can accomplish something. So beginners can make Carl, just simple, It's to your level. You make it to your level. Someone who's more advanced can add more detail and maybe, make it realistic or whatever you want. You can spend 10 minutes on it, or you can spend 5 hours on it. Our seahorse-ish, the results in the group were fantastic. I was so impressed with everyone. So let's go through the sequence and then we'll make it. All right, are there any questions so far? Anyone? Ooh, thank you, Isabel. I almost missed that one. It's so bright. With a coffee. That's coffee for Dawn. Coffee for Dawn, yay. All right, so if there's any questions, no, just hopefully I'll catch it. All the moderators are there to catch it too. So these are all the shapes. Now, I didn't start off with those shapes. I didn't just slam down a whole bunch. Jackie San Pedro, thank you very much. Ooh, that's cute. That's cute. That's a very happy, what is it, a cat or a dog? I'm not sure. It's cute, and I love the bright yellow. So I kind of put everything, in general how I'd like it. And I thought, is this good or not good? And I decided this is great. I love him. So then I, made some adjustments. This is the node mode part. Look at his eyeball got wonky. I don't know how that happened. And I just adjusted in these ones one node, just one node. Then I merged everything. Almost everything. I left the claws separate and the legs separate, so they would be behind. So they're going to stitch out first, and then the legs, and then the body. And if you make great connections, then you can put it all together so all the red stitches out without trimming, which is cool. And then I added some details to them, and let's put it on that. There you go, and you can see that was the final one. So let's go back to Carl's shapes and I'll show you how easy it is to make your own designs. So I kind of have the shapes set up what it is already, and I'm going to do a lot of copy and pasting too, because basically the eyes are the same and the claws are the same and the legs are the same. So it's just as easy to do one and then copy it over, copy and paste it and place it to the other side. You can make some adjustments so it looks different or not, whatever you want there. Okay, so I have all my shapes set out. So again, I'm doing this in Perfect Embroidery Pro, but you can do it in any software that you want. You can make it advanced, you can make it basic and be, accomplished. So it is whatever you make of it, and I think that's fun. Marcia Gentry, thank you very much. Keep it up. Yes, I will. I will. This is one of my favorite days. So all I did for the circle, I made, like a Pac-Man. So right click, and we're going to add a point, and it should be similar in most software. And I'm going to make it a line, so it turns to a square. And then all I did was just pull it in. Look at that. Now, you can leave it as curved, or you can change it to a line. And then you have to, what I did to make it still, whoops, whoop, there we go, sorry. What I did, because when I added the line there, it kind of made it kind of gooky, is I just took the other circle and I put it over, and then I just added a point or two to it to make it circle again. So that part's easy enough. So let's add a point. Look, and you just pull it out and you match it up to the lines. Let's do it again on the top. We're going to change that to a line. And you could also play around with your Bezier curves if you wanted. This one pulls out both. So I'm just going to add a point, whatever's easiest for you. And now look, we have the shape that we want. Now you can play around with the shape and get it to be exactly what you want. I'm going to delete that circle. I used it. Sea cucumber. Why are we talking about sea cucumbers? How about a sea garden to go into the aquarium? Oh, well, there's a lot of greenage and stuff that you can, greenage is my new word of the day, that you could add into aquariums. Misha has an aquarium, but I always see them, they have the waving green thingies. So I don't actually have an aquarium. I just like to make ishes. So there we go. So, all right, we can make this a bit thinner and angle it. So just by pulling it in, you can do that. Don't worry about it crossing over because we're going to merge these guys. If you wanted to make it a little more precise at the bottom, because remember, we are not going to merge the arms with anything else. You can just tuck it up like that. If you want this to be smaller, I think on my final Carl, yeah, the open part is a little bit smaller. Up to you. You can play around with it. So let's see how this works. So what we're going to do is pick that shape. Remember, we're not doing embroidery yet. It's outline, and you can see here it's artwork. So we're going to select those two. We are going to go into shaping, and we're going to weld. So that's one of the tools that I had listed there. And, you know, that's pretty cool. Let's go in here. It kind of bugs me, so we'll make it maybe like that, and maybe move a point over or not. Whenever you merge it, you get a whole bunch of nodes there. So, I mean, good enough. So I'm going to delete that rectangle, and I'm going to Control C copy and Control V paste, and then I'm going to slide this guy over. Well, it could be waving if you leave it like that, or we can just reverse it. That's all. And select, and we'll move it around, and we want this a little bit underneath here. We're going to be changing all that. So that makes it a lot easier. It's a lot easier to do it that way with a copy and paste. Let's work on his eyeballs. And I just realized that I didn't make the black part of the eyes. So you can move them apart. You can put them almost touching, whatever you want. But we're going to do the same thing. We're going to make one, and then we're going to make the other. Now, we're not going to merge these two because, why? Because this is a separate color. So if you merge it, it'll all be in one, and we don't want that. We want some of it to match and some of it not to match. Now, I want to overlap this because we are going to merge this part with his body. So up a little bit, we want it overlapping. Not a whole lot because we are going to be using white, so we want to be a little bit careful with that. So then I'll take this and delete it, and this and delete it. Select one, Control select the next, and then Control C copy, Control V paste, or we could have used the duplicate function as well. And I'm going to do another flip horizontal, and so this fits in a little bit better, and I think it's cool. So far we are rocking. Let's put another shape in there for his eyeballs, and I'll try not to play with them for too long. I seriously played with them. So I'm going to hold down the shift key, or the control key, sorry, to constrain it so it's a perfect circle. So remember, this is without the control key, and this is with the control key. And I kind of like my circles to be perfect. And then we're going to Control C, Control V. If you have one of those extra keyboards like we've spoken about, there's a video on it. It would be really neat to have Control C and Control V. It's hand keyboard. It's cool. So let's go to the body. Now, you could leave the body round like this, or we can make it this kind of shape. But you can see why I merged it, because this is really nice, the outline all in one like that. It's fantastic. So you can do one way or another, whatever. I think it's really cool with this, and I changed it to a line, and I changed it. That makes a quick water droplet or something as well. So, oops, I did the wrong one. Line, and let's go back because I messed that up. No need to fret. I added one and it changed the shape. So we want to change what we have to a line. And look, perfect. Perfect. I like the finished shape. It looks more like the shell of a real crab. Well, yeah. Now, we can make our adjustments here because it kind of changed the size. Maybe I'll make his body a smidgen bigger. And the best way to size things is to put the hoop up that you intend to use. So remember, these have to be overlapped because they're going to stitch out a little bit differently. And we could fill those, but before we do that, let's merge the body and parts of the eyeball. I have no idea what they're called, but you guys know what I mean. So let's weld them together. Yay, that's easy. That looks much better. It looks like you took a lot of time to come up with this, and it really isn't. And it's, your original design. You're not using clip art or anyone else's pictures, stuff like that. I sure thought about that for a long time. So, okay, looking good. We'll figure out what we're going to fill these guys with. Puzzle motif for the shell. Yeah, that would be cool. Judy Quilt, you like this? It's just a different way of digitizing. So many people are so reliant on clip art, but you can do it all yourself. So these legs, okay, are going to be in satin stitch and they are going to be separate from the body. So we want a claw, and then we're going to make a running stitch over to the next claw, and then where that ends, we'll make the end spot right here, and we're going to do another running stitch over, and so on to do everything first. And all of those connection stitches will be covered up by the body. So that is how you do the whole red part in one thing with no trimming. Thank you, Chris. Oh, I like the pear guy. He's, I think, my favorite guy. He's awesome. So, we can start on doing stuff like that after, but for now, I'll tell you guys what you need to do, and it's just a running stitch, and it's just a connection. I can show you quickly after how to do one. So we do want an overlap, that much or a little bit more, and I think his crab legs go like this. So really, I'm only adjusting 1 point. That is the part I love about what we're doing here. You take a rectangle, you can turn it a little bit if you want, and adjust 1 point, and it looks amazing. I can't draw, but I can do embroidery, and this is how I do it, literally. We're going to tilt this guy too. I don't want to change that yet. I want to tilt him first. So I'm just rotating him a little bit. This one could be longer. Whatever you guys want, however you guys see it. So there, like that. Yeah, why not? That's a little bit different. So we'll be changing those, but let me turn his one claw. Be cool, you could do a motif stitch, or put some triangles and merge them so his claw looks sharp. So many things we can do. So we're going to convert this, and we're just going to do complex fill for now. And let's turn on that. I want him red. I don't think they're red. They're kind of like a brownish color in the sea, but yeah. What's Dawn saying? What are you saying, Dawn? LOL, Dawn Brown. I don't know. I'm going to do it red. So that's a claw. Then we'll go in, and it is easier to do this part with all of your, have your hoop up, and I'm going to show my commands. If not, you can just go in and look, there's a start. So I'm going to move the start to here just to make it easy. And, if you do this before you copy, it would be even easier. So I just put it in easy spots. So I know that it ends here, and then I'm going to go to a running stitch, and you can make this connection, you know, like this if you want, or just straight across, and we're going to connect it right into here, and I'm going to hit enter. And I don't think we wanted blue. I think we're going to make it red. And the next thing that you have to do is put it in the correct spot. So we'll do that in a sec. You can see it starts here and it ends here. So then we go here and we convert it to complex fill. And then we'll go into our node mode. And we know we want it to start where? Right here. And it'll be all connected. So you just run your start right there, and I want the finish to end here, because when I am stitching everything, I'm going to have it connected here, start, stop, a little connection, just a little running stitch here. This is underneath. This is one reason why we overlap things. Start, finish. And then, of course, over here, do a little running stitch over here and start, finish, the same thing. You can copy and paste if you want. So that is how to make connections. So it saved me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tons of stitches. Tons. So remember to always make connections. Now I have videos on connections. Frank Bug is probably my favorite. I do have 2 more in the series, but I have to re-record them, and I haven't done that yet. But Frank Bug really explains how you can do it and have really good connected designs. I'm just going to remind you guys a little bit each time when I'm doing, you know, a new thing. Just a reminder. And then we will, you know, work on that, you know, later. So what is that? Red? We want it red. Now it's red. I can see it. I'm going to put my 3D on. So I'm just right clicking and convert to satin is what we want. And it looks beautiful, and it makes a nice point. I forgot to change that one with red. However, it's an ish. It's a crabbish, Carl the Crabbish. So if you want to do different colors, go right ahead. You can do whatever you want. Convert to satin. I think he's looking pretty cool. I am going to adjust this leg, make sure it's still overlapping, and I'm going to select and control select the 2 blue legs and make them all red. So I'm going to delete these guys. So even though he looks like there's a lot of work, it's 1/2 and 1/2 kind of thing. We're just like putting it together. 1, 2, 3, I'm holding down the control key, and we're going to do our wonderful copy and paste, and then move, wait for your cursor to turn into a hand. We're going to move it over here and flip it just like we did for the other ones. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't, you can turn on your grid if you need some, you know, assistance on placing it perfectly, but it's an ish. So afterwards we can make him into a crab dish. Getting hungry here. Got to make dinner. Don't eat Carl. He's just coming to life, Karina. Don't eat Carl. Convert to just complex fill. So you can see why you need to put things in the proper order. I don't have that, but look, see? All of our connections, because it's stitching a claw, the legs, and you can see the mistake I've made is nothing. Never mind. Never mind. It has to be in the right order. So claw, legs, and then stitch this over top of everything. I would probably need, it looks like I would probably need to, yes, they're on top, so it doesn't look the same. It would be way better to put it underneath. So I can do the rearranging afterwards. It's just a matter of organizing your work. You can either do it as you go, plot it out, or you can change everything afterwards. Jackie Burke, thank you very much. Thank you. Elisa Gentry, I'm late, but I made it. Yay! Glad you made it. So we're going to start with here, and we're going to convert to satin. And is there a split in it? No. So it's a good idea to have your hoop up, and then you'll know what size you're doing everything. So convert to satin, and then we're going to do the eyeballs. Convert to complex fill or whatever you want. And again, you can see right away it's not perfect. It's not in the right order. You'll be able to see it right away, and it's just a matter of moving it. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Complex fill, not blue. We want white. I could have changed that beforehand. And not blue unless you want blue eyes. Do you want the blue center of the eye? Or it's your ish, so you could do what's that connection on the last 3 legs? Yeah, I didn't do them. I just connected the claws just to give you guys an idea. It confuses beginner people, but people who've been digitizing for a little while will, it's a reminder, I guess. And if you want to find out more about it, watch the Frank Bug movie video that I did, and it really, really explains it very well. So, red. We want his claw red. So, I'm just going to leave his eyes like that. Now, we can, even though some things are out of order, that's fine. There are blue crabs. Oh, well, I guess. Yeah, kind of a brighter than you'd think blue. Or do you put the stitch behind? For the connections, these legs need to be put behind the body and all connected. So you go from here to here, and you start this satin stitch and finish up here. So it'll sort itself out for that. And connect them all, go across here, connect them, and start the body here. And then it will stitch out all in one piece and be covered up by the body. So, okay, I forgot to add the eyebrows. So this is your basic Carl, and you can make him as fun, as flighty, as whatever you want, not necessarily even, cartoony. I kind of went for the cartoony because it makes me think of Finding Nemo, where isn't it the crabs that they put their hands up when someone swims by? So I just thought it was the same way like that. And it's cute. It's awful cute. So let's start doing some different detail work on it. Now, you could just do a running stitch smile and call it a day, or we can add some fun stuff. So let's go back to our shapes. The first thing we're going to do, switch to rectangle. And I think eyebrows are too much fun on these creatures that we create. So let's go in there. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Never be afraid to zoom in to see what you're doing. And for something like this, having the grid on really helps. No, I don't want, yeah, I guess I do want this side. So you can be really slick, fancy eyebrows. I like that. So convert to satin just to give it a really nice look. And I think we should make them, either brown or black. And then do your magic, copy and paste, slide it over so you don't get confused. And we're going to flip it so it looks like he had some eyebrow work done lately. So then, of course, you can change the expressions for Carl. So he looks maybe a little mad here. You can take them, you can rotate it, and then he's really mad at you because he doesn't have a mouth yet. See how angry he looks? Angry crab. SpongeBob-ish. It's SpongeBob-ish. Sure, why not? You could make the eyes up way higher. You can make the claws thinner. You could do a whole bunch of things. So just to be different, this is Happy Carl and this is Angry Carl. So you could do a line for a mouth, just for fun. What is Carl so mad at? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. So let's take the body. Alicia Gentry, thank you very much. That is how I feel today, just flying high. I'm a flying high pear. That works. So we are going to copy and paste in place, but we're not going to do 2 layers of tatami at all. We are going to change this to motif stitches. And this is where I had fun. So we'll just apply this so we have it. And we gotta go down here. Where is it? I lost it. I let go. That's the tatami. I can see it in here. I should have changed the colors. All right, complex fill. That's it. Just look in your list here if you want something. In this software, another way to change, let me change the color first though, right? Another way to change the fill is here. Click on the star, and it does a whole lot of things. Love it. Love it. What do we have? Contour, gradient. It's nice if you want to play around with it. So, standard, emboss. I didn't think the emboss looked right. Contour. Yep, that's just not going to work. It's too, the shape is too wonky. That's pretty weird. Maybe that's why he's angry. And we definitely don't want satin. So, let's do some, we could do a grid. Yeah, he's pretty cool with a grid. How well can you guys see this? He's mad because he got caught and is about to be put in the pot. He's fighting for his life. You could draw a knife using just basic shapes so he could be a really aggressive crab. That would be, that's how my brain works. Just fun. Oh, that might be cool. I'm just playing around just to see. Let's work with this just to be different. You can go through as well and pick a motif stitch, but I'm just thinking if we do something like that and we move, this may or may not work out, but we're gonna try. And hit apply. That may work. I think we should change the density. Oh, that made it the wrong way. Whoops. No, I don't want it closer. I do want it further. Yeah, no, that doesn't really work for me at all. I don't really like that. Let's go back to our list the way we were doing it. And it was, you can see all the parts here. I love that. I don't know if you guys know that. You can see the elements better like this. I just heard a really weird noise. So let's go back to motif. I kind of like it all. Kathy Smith, thank you very much. I hope you're enjoying the video. So let's go to motif, hit apply. Oh, I see what I've done. He's a psychedelic guy. I clicked and I changed the wrong one. That's all. I do that. Which is that one versus this one. Shape, yes. So I want to put this back to standard and tatami. So I just kind of goofed up a little bit. Oh, you know what I did? Okay, so the easiest thing at this point is just to go back, and I'm doing Control Z to go back to where we started from, because I was playing around and I made a mess, and I want you guys to play around with stuff and see what you like. And it's super easy just to go back. These are all the things I played with, rather than messing around with it, because you can get yourself lost. So we don't want to be lost. So just go back and back. You can go back a whole ton. So I'm going to click on that. I'm going to change the color to something bright so we can see it and make it easier to pick out. And let's play around with the motifs. So, love it, Sue. Yay! Thank you for all of these great lessons. Well, you're very welcome. This is one of the highlights of my week. The next one is our sew along. We just have a ton of fun. Now, let's try. I tried a few. You know, crisscross might be okay. You could also do a color blend if you wanted. We can check that out. I do love color blends. Hopefully, you guys are stitching them out, and so you can see how beautiful they look. I kind of like that one. I kind of think that's cool. Let's click on dimensional. So, yeah, that's okay. If you guys, remember, if you guys get stuck and you change too many things and don't like it, then redo is your friend. Isn't that cute? I kind of maybe like that. He's still angry. And yes, I think David said he's been fighting with the lobster and he has a black eye. So, yes, yes. So, at this point, he's still pretty cute. I kind of like him. I'm going to click on the tatami and we're going to try a color blend because I didn't try that. So it's red and what should we make them? Orange. So this number corresponds to the colors down at the bottom. Hit apply, but nothing happened because I forgot to tell it what to do. So yeah, ooh, that actually looks really cool. Maybe we can eliminate the, not that one, this one. No, this one. I don't know if I like that or not. Maybe if I made this part the, that's the mix, that's that. Sometimes I can't talk and digitize at the same time. Maybe if that was orange, it would add to it. But I really like the color blend. Let's go ahead and do that on other ones. See, I always come up with something different as I'm working on it. It's cool. See, that's pretty neat, except for I got to tell it what to do. Why am I forgetting that? I don't know. Yeah, that's kind of neat. It gives it a little bit of, depth. And they do stitch out wonderfully. I don't know if I like it as much on the claws. It'll look better. Cindy King, purple? You want purple for the claws for the second part? So that's number 8. Let's try it. Maybe we can see it better. The orange blends. Well, step back a little bit. Go up a little bit. I think that's pretty darn cool, if you ask me. Let's try convex and concave. Yeah, I like that. Now, let's look and see. Okay, so this part isn't blending very well because his claw is really tiny and you have to be careful with color blending. And I'm going to show you how it works so much better. I have everything selected. So now the whole design is 7.5 by 7. And look at the blending now, even in the middle. So color blending on small objects, no, it doesn't work. Ooh, thank you. Odd, is that how to say it? A-U-D, odd? I've been meaning to ask. Lila. Lila is a beautiful name. So make it bigger if you really, really want a color blend in here. Just make your dude bigger. So let's try convex and see what we think. But oh, see? That's pretty neat, isn't it? Even with the purple. So yeah, if you really want a color blend and it didn't really work very well, make it bigger. It's too small. It is not meant for small objects. So now Carl 2.0 is, pretty crotchety. He's pretty angry. He's a lot bigger. So let's try the purple here. What did I say it was? 8. Apply. Yeah, isn't that cool? I think maybe I don't want the purple lines going, although that would look good. Let's try this one. So he's going to be a color dude. Let's try 8, and I'm not going to forget this time to change it. Let's try this one. Yeah, what do you guys think? I love it. I love it. Carl is coming together. Now, if you don't like the motif stitches, I'm not quite sure if I'm fond of them. They're hard to grab, so let me just find them there. There they are. I can tell by the color. Let's just hide it and see. Do we like plain and simple, Carl? Or do we like them with motif stitches? I suppose we could turn them around, maybe. That's how to play around with stuff. Just remember to delete them. I do like how this line goes through. We should make his mouth, shouldn't we? I think. Satin or classic satin? No, steel. I always say it wrong, and I probably always will. So let's go here. Oh, we're going to make him mad. Hold on. Backspace. We're going to make him mad. So just a straight line. Even like this. Haha, we're funny. Yeah, what do you think? He's pretty cross. He's pretty angry. If you ever want to look at stuff, it's hard to see things. That's all I did is show stitches or don't show stitches. We can take the commands off and put it back on. Whoops, forgot that I didn't have the right tool. So I think Carl's pretty mad. Isn't that cute though? I kind of like it. So you do have to put everything in order. So gradient or no gradient. Happy, angry, either way. Depends what you like. When I'm creating something, especially out of shapes, I like to experiment and see what I like. So happy Carl, you can almost make a cartoon. Hiding is cool when you're figuring it out, Lori Shell says. Yeah, I know, it's pretty cool. So whatever you like, I even played around with different, tatami settings. And I thought that was awesome as well. So really, I just played around with different ones to see. Both color blend and motif are adorable. Happy face. Well, yeah, I'm thinking. What about a zigzag mouth, Christy says. Okay, we can do that. Now we don't start again. It's going to be at the bottom what I just did. We're going to go into node mode and we are going to add some points. Now we don't want curved because then it would be, wobbly sort of thing. We don't want that. So I'll change it to a straight point. So add a point here. We'll see if this is enough. Change it to line and then we can go like this and apply. Yes, so we can all see it. Oh, he's pretty angry. He's pretty angry. Ha! I love it. What do you think? He's kind of messed up. Maybe a couple more zigzags would look better. He is just going to just get someone, I guess. So yeah, zigzag, yeah, you can play around with it a little bit more. I like it. My thing is just try anything. It's easy to do. Let's turn that into a line, click apply. There we go. We could do one more here. So add point and then turn it into a line. See, the possibilities are endless of what you can do. And it's worth trying. I think this one should be moved a little bit. Up, down, up, and then down. No, I didn't ask for that at all. Straighten it out. Moving my Bezier handles. There, what do you think? You could also do like funny Lips, yeah, he looks angry, I think. I mean, why not? You could, oh, Sandy, he didn't have his coffee. You know what you could do is put a coffee cup beside him. Yeah, he's mad because there's nothing in his coffee cup. So a coffee cup can be as simple as a rectangle. Watch this. Rectangle. We have coffee cups like this. See? Simple. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. And what you can do here is change it to ellipse. And I'm just going to pull out a circle for the handle, kind of maybe like that, and move it up. And boom, we got a coffee cup. Fill it with stitches. We're going to have to make a smaller one in here. So we're going to do a copy and we're going to do a paste. It doesn't have to be, a complete work of art every time you do stuff. There is your basic outline for the coffee cup handle. So you can trace it or merge it. We could try that. Shall we? Shall we? I don't know if it'll work with the third thing. I think you might have to cut a hole for that part. But let's try anyways. If you don't know, let's try. Every software is different, and if it's a total bust, then you do Control Z, and you're done. So shaping, weld. Well, does that look like a coffee cup to me? Yep. You could just fill it with even complex fill and cut out a hole here, just like a half circle hole. You could plot it out easily enough. And it's a silhouette of a coffee cup. And Carl would like to you to fill it up because he's angry. He's pretty big compared to the coffee cup, too. Carl Mugrug with words, my coffee. Yup. So all you have to do to finish this off is just cut out a hole there for the handle. So isn't that easy? And you can come up with, we're just playing around, but you can come up with your own narrative like that to practice stuff. I do that and I come up with something and then refine it. Like you could make this coffee cup really nice with the starting shape. It's easy to do. And it's kind of fun and, totally silly, which I also am. And then if you don't want angry Carl, you could have worried Carl. What is he worried about? I don't know what crabs have to worry about. But maybe he's a little worried, he's concerned. And actually the mouth goes along with that as well. See, this is making embroidery fun. So Carl can be for a lot of things, and you could reuse Carl in different, things just by changing his expression. So it's kind of fun if you need, a kid's birthday shirt or something, then you could have him with a happy with a number 1, and all you're changing is his eyebrows and his mouth to make it happy with, a 2, the year of the kid, or you could have it behind or something like that, or he is cutting it. It's so easy to do. Just a few changes. Okay, who said that? Misha, crabby without my coffee. Oh my goodness, that is absolutely awesome. I think maybe not happy Carl, maybe angry Carl. We should do that just for fun. Yeah, closes claws to hold a balloon. Yeah, absolutely. And it would just be, making a balloon shape would be easy enough. Running stitch for it, or he's trying to catch it and he's worried about it, something like that. So many things you can do once you get started and do the basics. If you're going to do a lot of changing, here's something that I do. I would save this and I would copy and paste into a new one, so you can move stuff around, do different things, whatever you want to do, and you still have your original. So would you sew the claws on the outside of the body or underneath? Absolutely underneath. because you want it to be separate here. These are actually in the right spot. You want them to be separate but underneath. Also, having them separate and sewing underneath facilitates all of our wonderful connections. So if you did them over top, this would be overlapped. You could, I guess, make it overlapped, but I think making the connections would be a little bit more important, and I think it would give it, a little bit of texture. Ronag, hi! I didn't even see you there. Thank you very much. Thank you. I mean the feet. Yeah, the feet are supposed to go underneath, but it'll take me a few minutes to move stuff, so it probably should go close to the beginning. Order. Order. I never get it right. No, see, I did it wrong. That's okay. Order to back. I get mixed up. And now they're underneath. Now they're underneath. So it looks better that way. And again, so most of the parts of him stitch out first, and then the body covers up all the connections, which is a higher level of embroidery. But yeah, it could be the other way. I would cover it up so I can make the connections. But that's just me. If you don't want to make connections, I mean, you can move them up and down. Look up a picture of a crab, not to bring into the software, but sit and look at them and then work on your crab. Just have an idea of what you're doing. And that way you're not copying, you just have a bunch of ideas. It works better. Can a motif stitch be put on a satin border? Absolutely. I do it all the time. You just have to remember it has to be big enough. And you have to, normally, you have to make the motif stitch bigger. So again, this is really important to know your sizes. Small sizes are hard to do. So bigger sizes means more detail. So yeah, you can put a motif stitch over it. In my E4, you don't actually have to do that because you can build in. So the satin stitch has a shape in it altogether, kind of like, the fill with the zigzags, like this guy. You can do that on satin stitch, but only if it's big enough. So then you don't have to do things twice. So lots to think about, lots of expressions, lots of different ways of doing it, lots of really good connections to make with Carl. So the majority of the entire design stitches out in one. So let's see. Commands, we've got them up there. Now, of course, there's nothing you can do about the trims here or within the eyeballs. This one you can get away with or just move it a little closer. But if you notice, those are our only trims once we get everything connected. So make your connections, stitch over top of it, and reduce your trims. It's really important. Great idea, all wish shapes. Yes, I can't wait to see your Carls in the group. I love it. So shapes, put them together, move them around, do some node modes, and look, you have a Carl, a friendly and grouchy or concerned Carl. So it's a lot of fun. I love the color blending. I want you guys to stitch some things out to test out the color blending. Remember, it has to be big enough. I think Carl deserves to be big. What did I say? It was 7.5 by 7. You could reduce it so it's 7 by 7. I think it's great. You guys will love this. So if there's any other questions, go into the OML Embroidery University Facebook group and we will be talking about it more. If you have questions, that's a great place to go. If you have questions or you don't know what I'm talking about with connections, go on the OML Embroidery YouTube channel and search for Frank Bug. And that is the best video, one of the best videos to sort that out. So yes, like and share the video, please. Make sure you at least like it. Thanks. Oh, Suzanne Shup's here. Oh, I didn't see you before. And yes, Phyllis, be sure to click the thumbs up. And thanks everyone for watching. I hope you guys like this video. Join me on Saturday. We are doing a creative kiwi mug rug. I was going to do one of my own. I've had it tested and everything. But I absolutely love the creative kiwi Mother's Day one. So that's what we're going to be doing. I'll get the titles and pages and everything set up shortly. So thanks everyone, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.